I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're speaking with a wonderful author. His name is Leon Petchkovsky. He has written a remarkable book. It is called Nurturing the Nurturers, Healing the Planet, the Wati Kanyilpai Story. It is a profound exploration of the significant impact childhood experiences have on a person's life and the larger implications for society. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank our team at Prime 7 Media for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing this wonderful book. The links are below. Leon, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. From reading your book, I learned a lot, including that the first 3 years of life play a pivotal role in shaping an individual's behavior and mindset.
Absolutely, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how early experiences, particularly maltreatment, manifest later in life and impact society at large.
Oh, awful impact. We're talking about the development of the programs in the right brain, the right hemisphere. And that happens during the first 3 to 4 years of life. And it's subverbal. So you're not all that aware of it in terms of words, but what's there is your emotions, your capacity for relationship, your impulse control, your level of arousal, whether you're over-aroused, and even some physical stuff. And if you get that wrong, then, you'll have terrible problems with emotions, like, depression, anxiety, Your relationships, your capacity to relate will be very impaired. Your impulse control will be gone. So many people end up in psych hospitals or, committing domestic violence, or across the world. A lot of the terrorists have that kind of background.
Exactly. So nurturing the nurturers is important. The people who are taking care of our children is actually having great impact on our planet as far as war, peace, crime, a lot of the negative consequences in society, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
That's how it is. And I keep comparing that to, the global climate crisis. We're struggling with the climate crisis. But this is a struggle with a psychosocial, cultural crisis. Because if we don't help get that right, all we're going to get is more violence, more wars, more misery, and the misery just goes on and on.
Yeah, it self-perpetuates. The child's abused, he becomes a dysfunctional adult, he abuses his child, and so on and so forth.
And so on and so forth.
Talk to me a little bit about the subtitle of this book, the Wati Kanyilpai Story. What does that refer to?
Well, what that refers to is I've been working for years, for decades, on and off with remote Aboriginal communities in Central Australia. And I've got to know the people there very well, and they've got to know me very well. And and some of the elders, that's the medicine men, took me on board as a trainee, and they would take me out to sacred sites and train me in Aboriginal medicine. And one night we were all sleeping out at this special sacred site. And in the morning, the elders asked me if I had any dreams. And I said, well, as a matter of fact, I did. What I dreamt about was a man, a huge being, walking through the landscape. And what he was doing is he was looking after all the beings who were looking after beings. So he's looking after all the mothers. He was looking after all the mother animals. But his travels were not confined to Australia. He was traveling all over the world. And they said to me, the name we have for that is Wati Kanyilpai. Wati is a male elder. Yeah? Kanyilpai, Kanyil means looking after. Pai means looking after continually. So this is a man who continually looks after things. Now, it's particularly important this guy's a man, because that's what we guys need to take on.
Yeah.
There's not enough of that. The
Men can be as nurturing as
able
women.
to look after the women who do the nurturing.
Yeah.
To do that in an empathic and a mindful way. I mean, there are two big things in life. One of them is called mindfulness, and that's just awareness, but a kindly awareness of what on earth is going on in yourself. The other one is empathy, and that's a kindly awareness of what is going on in you.
Yeah.
Now, if we've got both of those going, then life becomes more kindly, more manageable.
Yeah, it only makes sense if I'm aware of what's happening within me and I'm trying to be aware of what's happening within you. We have an interconnected world that is based on kindness, which is based on understanding, which is based on empathy, and as you said, mindfulness. Wonderful advice indeed. Talk to me a little bit about your proposals for ministries and early childhood nurturance. It's pretty intriguing. Can you elaborate how such departments would function and so forth, and how they would benefit society?
Indeed. Look, one of the things that I'm aware of is that there's actually nowhere on this planet where there are kind of government ministries dedicated to this, which is awful. And, you know, the same thing applies to religions. Religions just don't take that into account. I mean, they've got a whole lot of stuff about baptism and circumcision and, you know, funny rites and rituals. But you'd think that of all the organizations on this planet, they would have enough empathy to tune into what's going on in those first 3 or 4 years of life and how to help with that. And so what we need are, this is where it becomes very difficult, because the trouble with most ministries is they're very mechanical. You know, they kind of follow a set of rules or guidelines, but they stuff things up. Like, you know, the child welfare authorities that we've got in our country and doubtlessly in other countries have got the emotional brains of bloody dinosaurs. Like, they'll step in when they hear that a child is being badly abused. They will take the child into some sort of foster care situation. And then 6 months later, when the child has just begun to develop a bit of a caring relationship with the carers, they come along and take him away and dump him somewhere else.
Yeah. It's very, very sad.
Emotional brains in that.
Children are booted from institution to institution to foster family that is seeking money for what they do. It's a terrible situation, and it's amazing that it's not addressed better by government. It's amazing that it's not addressed better by churches and synagogues and community groups. I think you're really onto something here, that if we can help children in those first 3 years of life by helping those who are nurturing them, we will indeed heal the planet. It's a beautiful theme. It's a beautiful book. It is called Nurturing the Nurturers, Healing the Planet, the Wati Kanyilpai Story. It's an excellent book. It is a prescription for what ails the world, which is a multitude of shortcomings right now. It's written by Leon Petchkovsky, and it is highly recommended. Leon, before we leave you today, anything you'd like the folks at home to know?
Dear folks at home, all I can do is send you all my loving wishes. May you be well, happy, and peaceful, full of love, compassion, gratitude, and mindfulness. And may, especially the males among you, put a bit of loving energy into this nurturance program.
Absolutely. And of course, the two ingredients that you mentioned early on are so important, which are mindfulness, knowing what's going on within yourself, and empathy, what's going on with you. Leon, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Logan, thank you very much for having me. All good wishes.
All good wishes to you, sir. I learned a lot. I enjoyed our conversation tremendously. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.